Let me go ahead and text Matt and let him know that this is going on.
Mm.
So I'm listening, by the way. So because you're go ahead.
All right. All right. So we're live. All right. Says your live drag.
Yep. So you want
to your channel a certain way. Let me mute.
Huh? Oh, so for those of you who are probably wondering, this is inexplicable timing as far as G-Man sent me a message on Skype. He's just now watching the Atheist Experience episode, like many of you probably have already. And I have to really point out the inexplicable timing here that G-Man basically wants to have a debate with Matt. And my response is basically like, and for as other people who don't understand how it actually works is that people contact Matt because they've already had everything set up. There's a sponsor who sets up all the events with the caterer, the hotel, all that kind of stuff. And, they talk about Matt's compensation and all the other kind of stuff that need to go into it. But that's just one aspect of it. The other aspect is that Matt has to actually want to talk to the person. And so if you've kind of been a douche to people, specifically Matt or people who Matt associates with, he's probably not going to be too inclined to deal with you. And so G-Man disagrees. He is here to, I guess, set the record straight as far as his interactions with Matt and his goals and everything and whatnot.
Yeah, so for the Christians that might see this a little bit later, I was the one that contacted Drag. Primarily, you don't know this, Drag, because Positively Godless was egging me, saying that I was jealous about you going on the show. And I gave Positively Godless and he has my permission to show you. But I gave him about maybe five different tweets, I think, maybe 6, on why it doesn't matter if you went on the show. It benefits me because you talk about me on the show so much. That's basically what I said in a nutshell. If you gain 1 million subs, I'm going to gain 500,000 of them. That's the attitude that I have about it.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Because my laptop.
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just
All right.
I'm clicking these super chat. Oh, that's me. Okay. So there's a mutual benefit from your perspective from people who interact with you. When to some degree, I actually do agree with that. But I think there is a diminishing returns on that as far as what one can gain, because as we've seen, Matt doesn't actually benefit a whole lot from dealing with every single person that he runs across, because you've not been featured on the Atheist Experience for quite some time. They have well over 4,000 live viewers. So he can benefit from being very, very picky about who he deals with.
Well, I understand that, and this is why I wanted you to start the show a little bit, and that's to talk about my past interactions with Matt. And I think Matt is being a little unfair about this. And I talked about this with you with the atheist community before. All right. First of all, I am under the belief that there's a whole lot of people that want to see this. Like, I believe if it happened on your channel, especially this channel, if it happens on Godless Engineer's channel or certain other channels, I know for a fact that they're going to get 1 million to 2 million views. I don't want it on my channel because honestly and truthfully, it ain't about that. This is about something completely and totally different for me personally. Now, let's get to the actual issue, okay? The issue is has my behavior to Matt justified him for not wanting to debate me on the topic of slavery in the Bible? Let's talk about my behavior with Matt Dillahunty. I don't want to talk about his behavior with anybody else or with me. In the beginning of this, let's talk about the behavior that I showed towards Matt Dillahunty. You as an atheist, right now, you see me call 2 times. You see me call the first time, and then I called the second time. The other 2 times, I don't think he was even. No, the third time I called, he wasn't on the show. The last time I called, I was the last caller on the show. And now, do you agree with him? I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Do you agree with him that I have been, quote unquote, disrespectful? Because that's the key word there. That I've been disrespectful enough for him to be justified not to want to debate me on the topic of slavery. I'm talking about face to face. I'm not talking about no quick phone call hang out, because I don't have enough battery power, even if he did pop in here, to do it. But do you believe that I've been so disrespectful towards him that he's justified in it?
Yes, absolutely. And it's because your general demeanor when you interact with people is disrespectful. And I've told you this literally for years. The second you start telling someone what their argument is, that's disrespectful. The second you start over talking someone, that's disrespectful. The second that you go into a tirade about what other people believe and start impugning people's motives, that's disrespectful. And for some strange reason, you've not gotten that. So I'm not sure at this point what to tell you, other than you continuously harassing people who have told you that they don't want to deal with you. It just adds to that.
Can we take a poll with your audience and ask your audience on whether or not they think I've been so disrespectful to Matt Dillahunty that will warrant Matt Dillahunty to not want to debate me? Can we take a little poll? Can everybody hit one?
I got one even better, Gman. I got one even better. I'm going to do strawpoll.me, and we'll actually see people vote in real time. Okay, so the question, has Gman been disrespectful to Matt? Do you want me to leave it there, or do you want me to qualify it more?
No. Have I been so disrespectful to Matt that would justify him? Because I know Matt's going to see this. That would justify him to not want to debate me. And remember, we're only talking about what he would deem me being disrespectful towards him. When we flip this, just remember what you guys argued. That's all I got to say.
Okay, I'm going to post this and I'm going to screen share. Okay.
Now, I know disrespectful can be a bit subjective. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go into the realm of subjectivism for this particular show. I have to, for what I'm going to say earlier, what I'm going to say after this.
Okay, so I'm going to share here, and I'm going to post the link here for people.
Yep.
Here we go. All right, so we'll see in real time what and there's like 50 people watching here. And Gman, feel free to vote in your own favor here.
No. I don't need to vote. I want to honestly know what they think, because I hope it doesn't contradict what I'm going to say afterward. Because let's talk about some of the so-called disrespectful things that I've done to Matt Dillahunty. Let me get this straight here. I sent him a YouTube link at 12 o'clock. What is that? 12 o'clock at night, I think it was. I think his time, it was either 12 or 1. It was Midwest time, I guess. I thought it was West Coast time, but it was Midwest time, right? Or Mountain time, I think it is. So apparently giving him a link late is disrespectful. I have that video on my YouTube channel. People don't know what I'm talking about.
So I know exactly, because I was awake for that. Like I watched that. And so all you did was just send him a link. That's all you did.
Through Google Hangouts, you're able to call people to join the room, or to multi-send a bunch of people to the room. Raw showed up. He didn't get mad about what time it was and whatnot. You know what I mean? And then he showed up. And then other people came into my room. Usually it's hard to get in my room, especially with the way things are now with me having Zoom and everything. People are going to see just how hard it is to get and to stay in my room. So they're going to see just how hard it is. So especially when I do Zoom over there on GTV and I start making the link available to everyone, they're going to understand exactly what I mean by this. But Matt says that's one of the reasons. The other reason is that I'm making YouTube videos about him. And I'm how can I put what did he say? I'm making YouTube videos about him. And I'm coming across as being disrespectful when I make my videos about him. That I'm acting like a WWE wrestler when I'm promoting the idea of me and him debating on the topic of slavery, which I know for a fact a lot of people want to see. They can lie all they want, and as far as your live chat goes. But I know there's a lot of people that wants to watch this. And I have evidence for that, and I'll prove that later on GTV.
I don't know who a lot of people are, but it looks like 24 people out of the 26 say that, yeah, you've been so disrespectful. So maybe you can do a poll on on your channel.
That the reasons, I want to make sure that this is understood, that the reasons why Matt Dillahunty is justified, because I sent him a link really late at night.
No, you called him multiple times.
Hold on a minute. And that my videos has been really charismatic about him. Remember that now, because we're about to flip it on what my attitude about Matt Dillahunty should be.
Okay.
And I have called the Atheist Experience. I watched him interact with other Christians. I watch how he conducts himself with people in debates. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to say 93% of you think I was too disrespectful to deal with him, then none of us should be dealing with him. Zero Christians. Because no disrespect, Matt, and I know you're watching this, so you're probably going to watch this later. You are nothing but disrespectful towards Christians. And like I said, I can't do it right now because A, I got a battery issue. 2 is a lack of time. I will go on my GTV channel. You probably don't even know what the heck that is. But I'm going to do my own little thing with Christians talking about this. And we're going to talk about how we feel when we call the show. We stop in the middle of our sentences, and then you tell us what we believe, how you believe you know the Bible better than we do, and how atheists are the only ones that know the Bible. Sir, you did that the last time I called your show with a caller that called before I called the show. You're nothing but disrespectful. So when I make a YouTube video and I'm being charismatic and I'm getting the attention of a lot of people saying, look, Matt don't know what he's talking about regarding slavery in the Bible. I understand the topic a lot better. I'm black. I had better know something about slavery here in America. You know what I mean? And then I hear these lame excuses. You're doing the same thing to us. Granted, you're not calling anybody late at night or whatever, or inviting anybody into a hangout, but you're disrespectful towards us. Is Matt Dillahunty now saying, or the atheist community saying, that none of us should deal with Matt Dillahunty? And I mean none of us. Zero. Matt Slick, William Lane Craig, Kent Hovind potentially, any of us. That none of us should deal with Matt Dillahunty anymore in regards to the debate. Because the arguments that Matt Dillahunty is making about me, we can make the same ones about him as well. And that's why I wanted Drag to start this show. It's not even intellectual dishonesty. It's just straight up lying going on right now. Okay? Am I charismatic? Oh, you better believe it. Do I exaggerate things about what's going to happen in a WWE ring if me and him are going to debate? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I understand the topic of slavery better than Matt Dillahunty? Absolutely. And the only way we're going to find out for sure, from your community perspective, if Mr. Dillahunty agrees to debate. What I need from Matt Dillahunty is this, and me and Dragnut was talking about this on Skype. I need to know the specifics of what he needs. Because I did a YouTube video, Matt, when you was unemployed, and I offered you $2,000 to debate me, and you said no. That doesn't sound like a person who's worried about respect or disrespect or whatever. That sounds like a person that's making excuses or is a little afraid to debate a Black American in the United States on the topic of slavery. If you really care about the topic, debate me on it. Because I'm telling you, I'm the only person I believe on YouTube that's really going to shut you down on this topic and stop you from talking about it. I'm the only person. I really believe this. So
I believe you believe it. So I think that the fact that Matt Slick and others have stated that they won't debate other people, I think that is the very similar scenario where this person has this particular demeanor, or they said these things and I'm not okay with that. That is completely up to them. And the fact that you did hound Matt Dillahunty to the point that he did answer just to get you to stop hounding him in the middle of the night is actually pretty significant. And you kind of downplayed just how annoying that is, because you didn't call him once. You called him multiple times in the middle of the night to try and get his attention. Right.
Okay. Number one, that's a lie. Your time frame is
okay. So you didn't call him multiple times in the middle of the night.
Hold on a minute. Matt Dillahunty didn't make just one video about me. Matt Dillahunty made a few videos about me. He talked about me in Australia.
What does that have to do with you calling him in the middle of the night?
Let me finish a minute though, because you need to be corrected about this.
Okay.
You said that he made a video just to get me to get off his case. That ain't what happened. All right. He made the YouTube video. He made the YouTube video because I made three or four or five videos explaining why he's wrong about slavery in the Bible. Then he made a video which at that time was the most viewed video on his YouTube channel, on his Patreon channel. And I pointed that out. And he had Christina Rad on there. That's why I'm not listening. The poll that you're doing right now, I know is dishonest. Because if you look at the people that actually watch the video versus your poll here, something totally different. Totally different. It's inconsistent. The bottom line is he's responded to me because I made a big deal out of it. And I ain't called the atheist experience once. The second time I called, and Matt, whether you want to admit this or not, dude, you didn't refute me on that second call. I refuted you. I corrected you about a very specific scene on this topic of slavery in the Bible. I brought up the prison system. I brought up the now, even though it's the weakest part of my argument, I brought up the NBA or the NFL or whatever, and I brought up some other things to show you that you don't understand what it means for a person to quote unquote not have all of their autonomy. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at my battery. Anyway, so Matt made the video because I put pressure on him with the videos that I was making. It had nothing to do with him wanting to get me up my case. That happened afterward. And if you want to look at the time frame, you can do it. I can make a documentary and prove that that's the case. I have no problem with that. With the dates, I can do the same thing that Irate Alex and those guys did with Shanny and show you dates when things was done to show you what you're saying is wrong. I got no problem with that.
Okay, so what I actually said was that you had called him multiple times in the middle of the night. I wasn't talking about any YouTube video. I'm talking about calling him over G Plus and Hangouts.
Can you define for the audience that don't know nothing about G Plus what you mean by that, please? Could you define that?
Back when Google Plus was the thing, folks, back when Google had its own social media network, you could call people. And that's how we actually communicated and broadcasted these shows like this before StreamYards came around.
Right, and there was two ways you can do it.
A lot like Skype, right? It rings and rings and rings. The issue, for those of you who did not see it, was that G-Man called no less than 5 times in the middle of the night.
So there's two ways you can go about doing it.
He cussed him out.
Drag's correct about that. I called him I don't know about 5 times, but I did call him a couple of times. Hold on a minute. And then I sent him the link a couple of times. Okay? In the great debate community here, we're used to doing that all the time for various different people. I have called people via G Plus, if you want to call it that, or send people the link a bunch of different times, and people have been grateful that they've been able to get into my room to talk about these topics. Again, Arn Raw came into my room, and Arn Raw didn't know what it is that we was talking about. He didn't cuss nobody. One of the rare occasions where Arn Raw didn't curse nobody out or didn't act a certain way. He talked to True Empiricists for a little while and then left. You know what I mean? And then Matt Dillahunty came in there and said, "Oh, you know that odds of you ever debating me just went down the toilet." I'm like, I mean, I made the most out of it, and I told everybody that at least I got them to finally come on my channel. See, Matt, there are two opinions about the issue that I have with you. The atheist community believes that you're in the right about staying away from from a debate from me, but there are also atheists that believes that on both times when I called the atheist experience, you should have stayed on the phone with me longer, and you should have actually talked about this topic. You look like you was running. That's number one. Number two, you got the issue of the Christian community, which I know you don't care about, even though you're trying to convert them. It's the issue of us. If you really believe that slavery is immoral in the Bible, the way that you go about arguing it, and that I don't know what I'm talking about, then you should be okay with meeting me in person. Okay? Because I don't want to do this on YouTube. I don't want to do this where I can be muted and all that other stuff and whatnot. I want to do it in a controlled environment where you can bring your people there and I'll bring my people there, and there will be a lot of them. Okay? And we can actually have an adult conversation on this topic of slavery. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I'll come on the atheist experience and do it. But I would rather do it, as Dragnut talked about, in a university or school. We could do it in a church. I can arrange to have it done in a church in either Texas, Jersey City. Let me think here. Somewhere within a 30-mile vicinity within Jersey City, we can do it.
I think you should first probably apologize for harassing him in the middle of the night.
I didn't harass Matt Dillahunty, and I've been apologizing. Hold on a minute. And I've been apologizing about calling him late.
You should probably start with an apology for calling him multiple times in the middle of the night.
Matt, Drake, what makes you think I didn't do that, Drake? I apologize not only for that, but I also even apologized. I also even apologized about the whole WWE thing here and whatnot, because True Empiricism and a few other people came to me and said, G-Man, Matt's not responding to this the way he should be responding to it. You should go to him, and I apologized. And you know what that got me? It got him being puffed up and proud and being disrespectful to other Christians. And I started noticing
that have to do with other Christians.
He can't demand people respect him while everyone else is while he's being disrespectful to everyone else. What
does that have to do with other people? That's between you and him.
Here's the thing, though. He's saying that he won't debate me for some lame reasons. Okay, he won't debate me And I'm telling you, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm going to get some people that he debated against to tell him that this is lame. You can't sit there and do the exact same thing to other people and be disrespectful to them, and then it happens to you, which I apologize for. You know what I mean? And then say you won't debate me. What you're saying is we have to respect you, but you don't got to respect nobody else? I mean, that in itself is an issue of morality. And I love to talk to him about that. I believe in treating other people the way they want to be treated. Yeah, obviously, if he believes that you should talk to other people that way, then I should be able to go to him and say, "Well, Matt likes a little theatrics. He likes a little bit of he likes to be rough around the edges. So that's how I'm gonna go at him." But when it comes to slavery in the Bible, I am not the only person that desires to have this debate with him in our community. Veckel has expressed your cousin or whatever the heck you guys are. Your close cousin, your fourth, fifth cousin, or whatever. Your cousin wants to debate him on this topic. But,
sure.
But I would love to debate Matt Dillahunty on this because Matt, and it's not just Matt, sometimes it's his guests too. They just get this topic wrong. You know, and then he ignores certain things in the Bible where we do see immoral slavery in the Bible. He totally ignores that, but then goes on what God allows in the Bible. Like I said, if I debate him, it's not an issue of winning and losing. It's an issue of getting him to stop talking about it. And that is what I'll accomplish if I debate him.
So you're going to get him to stop. So what can someone debate with you about that you'll stop talking about?
Me?
Yeah. You got to think hard for that one.
When you say for me to stop talking about it, like, what do you mean?
The same thing that you just said that Matt would do, like cease talking about the topic.
No. When I say that he's going to stop talking about it, he's going to admit that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Then that's
okay.
It.
Cool. That right there. What you
if
just
you're saying the same thing with me, it would be evolution, abiogenesis. If you're saying me, it would be abiogenesis, evolution. As far as the Christian topic goes, maybe the rapture. I don't know. The return of Christ. Some of the events that happens before that. What's the best translation in the Bible? There's a lot of topics that I'm being challenged by other Christians on.
And you would stop talking about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to if I'm showing I don't know what I'm talking about. It just
has that happened in the past? Have you stopped talking about stuff in the past because of that?
I had to do with evolution a couple of times. I remember when I first when Bionic Dance made her first video response to me regarding evolution in the Big Bang Theory, and she told me it was an explosion. It was not a explosion. It wasn't boom. And she made this really embarrassing video about me called, what was it called? Atheist is Playtime, I think it was called a long time ago. And I didn't know nothing about no evolution. Not the way I understand it now.
But you didn't stop
and I had to hear about it. I went to Hangouts. You was one of the people I went into the room with. So I'm aware about this. You better talk to Neff and True, because I don't know a lot about it.
Okay, so you didn't stop talking about it. You paused talking about it, and then you started again. Yeah. So you never actually stopped talking about it.
I don't believe Matt's ever going to study the topic. I don't think Matt's ever
going to. You want him to do something that you yourself don't do.
No, that's not it.
Yes, it isn't. You just admitted that you still talk about evolution.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You don't talk about evolution?
Hold on a minute. I had to first learn what the heck evolution was from a secular perspective, and then look at the arguments against it. And then that's when I made my mind up about some things. Regarding Matt, I personally, and this is why I said things are going to get subjective or whatever, but I personally don't believe he's going to do that. I don't believe that he's going to go into the Bible and study and start getting on the atheist experience. So you want to know what, guys? I was wrong. The Christians were right about this. I didn't look at this.
He has actually made videos very recently that he was wrong about a particular verse in the Bible.
I forget the video, but I responded to a video where he said that he was wrong about something in the Bible, but it just turns into how he should have said it differently, and it was more disrespectful than the first one. So I don't remember the video, and I'm not in a position to talk about it right now. But again, Matt Dillahunty doesn't have a good excuse not to debate me.
He has a few. So if we overlook the disrespectful, let's overlook the disrespectful thing. Let's presume that you are upstanding character. How exactly are you going to arrange any of this stuff with limited funds and resources? Because you do know that this having an event like this, you have to actually reserve a building or an area for it to actually be hosted with all the equipment to broadcast it and record it, caterer to feed people, hotels for the event, Matt's compensation, and a whole host of other things that are involved in hosting an event.
I just want as me and you was talking about on Skype, I think we talked about this in the beginning. I just need the list. As far as the building goes, I got that. I'm not worried about that. If he wants it done in a church, that will be arranged. If he wants it done in a hall with all of the equipment, the microphones, and all other stuff and whatnot, that will be arranged. What I want is a public, serious video where he is agreeing to it, where I have a printed document in my hands or something in my email that shows that I need to get all of this together. This is his fee and all this up, and then it will be done. I have a lot of backing, at least when it comes to him anyway. I have a lot of backing from the Christian community that will help me get this thing together. I'm not worried about that.
So you're relying on favors from other people. Have you actually contacted them about any of this?
As far as the building goes, the building is ironclad. I will get the building. I'm not worried about that. As far as microphones and seats and catering, that's done. As far as now, I did hear something a couple of years ago about him wanting a hotel room, and
you have to provide that first.
When I go have a chit chat with Matt Slick and some of the other people that he's debated, I'll get the 411 on all of that. But that will be taken care of. I'm not worried about that, because if it's going to be all of that, then it's probably going to be done in New Jersey.
What if he doesn't want to go to New Jersey?
Well, we can do it in Texas. I got contacts out there.
Really?
Yep.
I somehow doubt that.
The Word and a whole bunch of other people. I got contacts out there.
Because you're not the only person I know in Texas. I get the feeling that you're relying on favors from people you've not actually contacted, and that you're kind of
allowed to think that way. A lot of people use this. I'm going to joke a little bit here, but a lot of people use divorce in these situations where they go, you can do that if you want. I have no problem with that. You can have the feeling about it. What I want is the document. That's all I need. Listen to me. Once he does his job and he provides me with all of this, then I'm the one that's going to be with the excuses. Try me. Call my bluff. Give me the document of everything that I need, his availability, and I'll go back and forth with him and see what I can do.
And I'm still trying to figure out what's in it for Matt. For Matt to spend how many days.
I'm just trying to find a way to get him to weasel out of this. Now is
this is something that
Matt would be able to shut up one of the most annoying Christians on YouTube on this particular topic. As far as I know, in my community, as far as the Christians go, there ain't another Christian talking about this topic the way I do.
Matt doesn't watch any of your stuff, so you annoying him isn't even.
Stop saying that, Drag. I got videos on my channel that's not true. Stop it. Come on.
From what time period exactly?
You know what, Drag? You sound like you're trying to make an excuse for him to weasel out of this.
No, I've actually talked about you in person, so that's what I'm curious.
Great. But if he doesn't want to do it, Matt Dillahunty will get more respect for that than trying to use a third party like you to try to weasel out of it. Is either Matt Dillahunty knows something about this topic or he doesn't. It's either, and now if I'm wrong, I'm gonna have to get on here and be like, you know what? Matt pointed out some Bible verses that I was not aware of. He broke it down in the Hebrew and the Greek or whatever he plans on doing or whatever, and he could show me, well, G-Man, you don't understand servanthood and slavery. You don't understand this type of slavery and this type of slavery or something like that.
Conflating literal and figurative slavery, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can do that, but I'm telling you, I'm going to be ready for him. I'm going to be ready.
The difference between literal and figurative slavery?
Why does everybody in your live chat? Well, I'm asking a really stupid question at this point. Well, what's up with all this poor G-Man and this pity party nonsense that's going on in your YouTube channel? What are you talking about these days, Jack?
I'm just clicking the super chats. I don't know what's going on. I'm talking to you.
These people thought I was so poor. Anyway. So anyway, like I said, I don't understand these people that follow you. Anyway, so yeah, he doesn't have any excuse. He can't tell me I'm not on his level, or I'm not his equal on the topic of slavery, because honestly and truthfully, that would be the other way around. And I'm not the only Christian saying this. There's a ton of us saying that this guy isn't. It shouldn't even be talking to other Christians about the Bible.
Who is a ton of us?
I know this topic better than him.
Who specifically are you talking about?
The entire Christian community.
I don't know.
The entire Christian community. I'm not talking about Fiona, because she ain't the entire Christian community.
Obviously.
I'm talking about Epicurus and these other sellouts on YouTube. I'm talking about people who actually follow and obey the word of God.
Educated Christians?
Well, like I said, If Matt Dillahunty is done making his excuses, I just need the document. I just need the document of what he needs. I need his availability, how I can contact a representative of his, and when's the best time to do this so I can advertise it.
So you can
I don't care whose channel it's on.
I'll run this by Matt when I talk to him probably later today. But
sure. You said on one of your in one of our exchanges, I don't know if it was on GTV or on this channel, but you've been saying this quite a few times. It's not just you. Matt said this, and some other people have said this, that you don't believe in debating people who are not your equals, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you think that Matt Dillahunty is the equal of a Christian when it comes to our Bibles?
I'll go as far as knowledge. I'm going straight knowledge.
Okay. So I know Matt Dillahunty's going to see this, and he might get a little sour when he hears this. Why is it that when Matt Slick when him and Matt Slick was in the same room and Matt asked him some basic questions about the faith that he didn't know how to answer them since he went to school for 5 years for this to be a pastor?
So what specific questions are you talking about? Because Matt Slick likes to ask a lot of questions concerning his interpretation of philosophy.
Now you got a point there with people's individual interpretation. But because you remember when Aaron Raw went to Bible Thumping Wingman's YouTube channel, and then Matt Dillahunty came the following week, right? Matt Slick asked him some basic questions about the faith, okay? And Matt Dillahunty kept saying he didn't know the answers to these things, and then what's his name? Before he even asked him the questions, Matt Slick had mentioned that he went to seminary, he studied these things, and he is more than qualified to talk about these topics.
I don't think Matt went to some. Actually, Matt and I talked about that. That's a bit of a misunderstanding. He had the intention of going to seminary, but he never actually went to seminary.
Wait, he never went to seminary. Okay, no. So when I have disagreements with people about the Bible, you know, that you would consider learned or whatever, these are going to be like pastors, bishops, or people who are church planters. I'm not worried about somebody who's outside. Hold on a minute. I'm not worried about somebody who's outside my faith, who I believe has a surface, and this is what I believe. This can change if he debates me. He has a surface understanding of the topic of slavery in the Bible. And I want to debate him on this. And I'm going to tell you this, Matt, because this is what I believe. God is not immoral for what he condoned in the Bible regarding slavery. I'm going to say this again. God is not immoral for the slavery that he condoned in the Bible. Now, when we start looking at what he condoned, I'm going to have you doing a lot of this, Matt. I agree. But I want to do this face to face. By the way, Dragnut, I like to ask you something since me and you actually met each other in person. You're about 6'2", I think, right?
6'1".
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen Matt stand next to you. How tall is Matt? Matt about 6 feet? Or 6'1"?
Probably like 5'11".
He's my height. All right. So we're the same height.
Sure.
Right.
We'll go with that.
No, I am 5'11", and you still have yet to correct yourself about my height. And I'm surprised Hannah hasn't corrected you. Well, actually, I'm not surprised they haven't corrected you. Liars tend to do that. So I'm talking about Hannah or whatever. But no, I'm not no 5'3". Tell me something. What's the average size door in America? Just curious.
No idea. What, 6'5"? I don't know.
Okay, so there's a door right here, right? Do you see where I'm at this door here? Look.
Are you in a trailer? I don't know where you're at.
I'm not in a trailer. I'm in a house. Look, this is the top right here. Where are you getting 5'3" from?
I said I don't know. Like I have no idea how tall the actual door height is, but you're probably taller than 5'3". I'll give you that.
I'm 5'11". I know how tall I am, and you're basically calling at this point, you're calling a bunch of doctors liars. As a matter of fact, what's my height?
You didn't trust doctors.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I have my how do I show that to you without letting you see my information now?
I'll take your word for it, G-Man, that you're taller than I initially.
I have it on my non-driver's ID, and I think I have it on a medical, my weight and my height. When the last time I went to they weigh you and they see how tall you are when you get your physicals. I have to find it though.
I thought you did.
When I do a document, when I show my one of these documents when I went to the doctor, and they show you how much I weighed at the time and how much and how tall I am. Since I don't believe people shrink. So you're making stuff up, Drag.
They actually do. People actually do shrink.
Well, I didn't shrink. I'm 5'11".
Okay.
I have measuring tape upstairs too. I can use too. You're lying.
I'll take, like I said, I'll take your word for it. That's fine. So I'm still trying to understand what Matt actually gets out of this, because
what Matt gets out of it
for
by being on the Atheist Experience and arguing with any Christian that calls in. And I really hope some of them actually catch this video here, because your answer is going to be important for that. What does Matt get?
I can't speak for Matt, so
okay. So yeah, Matt gets to debate a Christian, and he gets to debate the most loudmouth Christian here regarding slavery. I've had this disagreement with him for a few years now, and I have atheists and Christians on my side, because I've taken the time out to explain to them why he's wrong. And all of them, especially when it comes to indentured servitude, do not believe that it's immoral. I have a hangout on my channel, for crying out loud, where the atheists in there in the beginning was arguing indentured servitude was immoral. Then we defined it. Then we gave practical examples. Every last one of them agreed that there was nothing wrong with indentured servitude. The only people I noticed that are still listening to him regarding this particular topic are a bunch of people who don't either know my side and only knows his, or just are ignorant about the topic. So again, and there's nothing wrong with indentured servitude, and there's certainly nothing wrong with a person giving up their autonomy.
Giving up their what now?
Giving up their autonomy.
So that's interesting you say that, but we have laws against that now. There is nothing wrong with it. Why would we have laws against it?
We have laws against it in the United States, but there are also laws that support it too.
Okay, so the issue here, G-Man, is that I think there's still a bit of a conflation that you have between someone being taken as a chattel slave and then someone who actually signs up for a contract, right?
A slave is a slave.
Now, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're conflating literal and figurative. If you don't know the difference, why would Matt?
I do know the difference. A slave is a slave, and that's all I'm going to say.
You tell me.
Here's the thing: I have at least 30 videos, maybe 40 videos on this topic. I have no problem with you actually going to look at them and me define, and you're going to see how I define these things. You're wrong about that. A slave is a slave. So and I'm going to tell you something else. When you look at the atheist argument,
what is the atheist argument?
A slave's a slave.
What is the atheist argument? I don't know what that is.
Well, if you don't know what it is, watch the debate between me and Matt.
Oh, that will probably never happen, but okay. So you tell.
Wait a minute, Greg. I didn't come on here to debate you. I came on here to express on your YouTube channel on why I believe Matt Dillahunty is making lame excuses for why he doesn't want to debate me. I did not come on here so that you can do his work for him. If you want to debate me on this topic, wait a minute. If you, because you told me you haven't read the Bible yet.
No.
And no disrespect, Drag. I go by what you said now. We're not equals on this. You know, you already admitted that you haven't read it. You haven't studied it. You don't know nothing about the topic. So I'm not debating you. If you got to ask me what my position is, you don't know what the heck's going on.
I'm able to study individual verses in the Bible and see their context.
Again, Drag, go read the Bible first, and then we'll talk about it. Because I challenge you on a debate on Genesis.
Talks about slavery.
I challenge you for a debate on abiogenesis, and you told me you won't debate me because I'm not your equal. So if that's the way you're going to do, if that's the way you're going to do things, you're not my equal on this.
Sure.
I'm willing to drop that for Matt Dillahunty, because Matt has a much bigger mouth than you do on this particular topic. You understand what I'm saying? So I have atheists that support me on this topic. I've changed this community to a certain degree on this topic. I know my worth, and I certainly know my value regarding this particular debate. Whoever's channel this is going to be on, they're going to get 2 to 3 million views. I promise you. I promise you.
2 to 3 million. That's quite.
I would do it on his YouTube channel. Let him get the views, super chats. Let him get the donations. I don't want none of that. I just want one thing. Matt, please stop talking about slavery in the Bible. You don't know what you're talking about.
You do know
what I want.
And Matt actually spoke about this very thing over dinner, right?
Yeah.
And you know, one of the biggest issues with talking to you about this
is that he's scared.
I'm asking you.
What is it?
You don't know the difference between literal and figurative.
Tell Matt that one of the ways that a lot of people do professional debates, I'm going to kill that excuse. He can get a partial written and this is after he agrees, and I want it public, and I want everybody to see it. I want it to be clear that he's accepting the debate. It will be done on this date with these conditions and everything and whatnot. But one of the conditions I will agree to is that I will give him a written 500-word document on what I'm planning on arguing and how I'm going to argue it. But if I do it, I want the same thing from him. I have no problem with it whatsoever. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't know the difference between literal and figurative. Really? Tell me something, Drag. Actually, no, I can't ask you because the issue ain't with you. The issue is with him. I would love to have a talk with him about Revelation 13 since I don't know the difference between literal and figurative. That's insulting. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I'm trying to, Lubis. So the thing that I got against him is that he doesn't know what he's talking about slavery. Somebody has got to talk to this man or debate this man a certain way so that he can see that he's wrong. Matt Slick, maybe he ain't comfortable with it to talk to him about this, or maybe some other Christians are not comfortable. I got no problem talking about this. Okay? I'm surprised right now I even got to explain some of this stuff to you. But maybe you'll benefit from hearing this debate too. So I would love to debate him. I'm
not really going to benefit from much of anything as far as that goes.
That's a lie, Dragnet.
I'm not sure.
That's a lie, Dragnet.
I've seen
and you know what? I'll
8 years. So
that's a lie. That's a lie.
So what? So how am I going to benefit from this exactly? I'm
get educated. You can get educated about this topic and why it's so important. If he's going to say that God is immoral about something, he would be better off debating the flood or debating what's something that God has done in the Bible. He can talk about like the do what Skylar does with the Amorites and the kids and whatnot and everything and whatnot. If he wants to debate something like that and he wants to prove that God is some type of monster or whatever, he has a better chance of doing it with that than he does with the slavery issue. The slavery issue is going to get killed on, because this goes back to culture. It goes back to the Israelite culture and the time that they were in. Matt Dillahunty too much tries to talk about that culture with the way things are done today. And he shouldn't do that. If he was in college or a university or whatever, and they asked him to talk about this topic, he would have to first talk about it from the perspective of the Israelites in the day that they lived in versus the way things are today. And I'm not going to say that was the Old Testament, because this is mentioned in the New Testament as well. If Matt thinks that's going to be my scapegoat, I don't care what testament is in. It could be in the Testament before the Old Testament and before that Testament. I'm still going to defend what God condoned, because I don't think Matt understands it. As a matter of fact, I ain't gonna say I think. I know he don't understand it. So, and then after that, in the future, I would like to debate him on morality too, whether or not morality is subjective or objective.
So, what branch of ethics does Matt actually subscribe to?
Well, me and Matt can talk about that when it's time for us to debate. You said you don't debate; you only debate your equals, Drag. I'm sorry, but that's coming back to bite you in the butt.
So it's
you're going to say later on when I leave the group that I don't know.
You want to debate Matt on morality. You actually want to debate Matt on morality, but you don't know what system of ethics he subscribes to.
Wait a minute. Do me a favor, because I know that this is live, and you can go on YouTube right now. Could you do me a favor and just rewind it and show me what I said I didn't know? Can you do that for me, please?
I asked you.
I simply said I'm not going to answer that question here. I said that's between me and Matt. That's it.
Okay, so I know that you don't know. I can actually
great. And say that then, but don't say that.
I know for certain that you don't know, because anytime anyone mentions the names of the systems of ethics, you balk immediately because you don't understand what they actually represent. And so this actually,
as long as you believe that,
when Soccer Count was discussing morality with you some time ago, and then you had said that Soccer was using word trickery in order to somehow fool you. So that's why I specifically asked you which branch or which.
I'm not doing nothing tomorrow if Saka wants to have a debate on his brand of morality and whether or not it's subjective or objective. I have no problem with that. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, when it comes to slavery, hold on a minute, and that will be done on GTV. And the reason why it's going to be done there, because Saka likes to go on people's YouTube channels where he can just dominate things, and that ain't going to happen.
No, I've listened to you and mute people when they start making points, so I'm not sure if he's going to be too inclined to be he starts making points.
You should rename this channel to let's make excuses for atheists, because that's all I'm hearing right now. It's like you are trying to find some little reason See, I could never respect William Lane Craig if he actually did something like that. William Lane Craig, the only reason he won't debate Matt Dillahunty is because, for what I understand, he doesn't have a PhD. If the man had any other excuse beside that, I would instantly lose respect for him. And I'd be the first person to rail on him and tell him.
That's really interesting that he has that standard, because if William Lane Craig, establishes a certain level of education for his opponent, then I don't see why you have a problem when me or Matt do it for you.
When it comes to education on the Bible, I'm sorry, I got most of your community, if not the entire community.
Okay, so now you're making excuses. That's called special pleading. That's called special pleading.
When it comes, hold on, when it comes to evolution,
that's special pleading.
When it comes to evolution, abiogenesis, and certain scientific things that we talk about in this community, a scientist Mel is more qualified to say, I don't want to talk to Gman because he doesn't have a degree.
Okay.
Scientist Sam is more qualified to say that I won't. I mean, I'm still going to make my comments about it if he says no, but if he chooses not to do it, he can say he's a scientist and I'm not. I haven't even gone to school and achieved an associate's degree on these things. You know what I mean? He has an excuse. As far as the Bible goes, I always say that you should read it before you start talking about it. You know what I mean? And I don't believe Matt Dillahunty, from Genesis to Revelation, has read. I don't believe he's studied it. I believe that he's done what a lot of atheists has done and has gotten the footnotes. This is just what I personally believe. You want to shut me up? We can have a debate. There's only one person in this entire great debate community, this on our little corner of YouTube here, that I believe is qualified to debate one of us when it comes to the Bible, and that would be Floyd. Floyd's the only one, because even Vacco says the guy that the guy reads and he studies a little bit. Does it for the wrong reasons, but he studies and reads. And Vacco will defend Floyd, and I fought with Vacco over this, because I think Floyd's an idiot. He said no, and it took some time, but Vacco changed my mind about it.
What about Dr. Josh from Skylar's channel?
I don't know nothing about him. Who's that?
He has a PhD in like biblical languages, like Aramaic, Greek, and all that kind of stuff.
I would love to talk to him then, if he disagrees with the scriptures. I don't know who he is, so
I'm pretty sure you and Dr. Josh spoke before in the past. I'm not sure whose channel, but I want to say it's one of the few times Dr. Josh was actually upset because you were being disrespectful. But I can double check with that, because people are mentioning it in the chat now. But
like I said, I'm not the only person with a YouTube channel. Like I said, I don't get invites to go to people's channels no more. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I get invites to go to people's YouTube channels, but when I find out who they're following, I choose not to go, because a lot of times I go in there and this is what I got to deal with. So that's interesting. Dragnut. Oh, listen to me. If I wanted to waste my time and go into a troll room, I would do it.
That's interesting that you have that standard, G-Man. That's very interesting, because now it seems like you're making excuses. The same thing that you said that I was doing earlier.
I'm not making excuses. There's obviously a difference between dealing with a troll and dealing with somebody who's dealing with it. And you Dragnet tried to make an excuse for Matt, saying that I have limited resources, like you actually know what's going on in my life, and you telling me that I can't get a building, like you know what's going on in my life. So,
G-Man, I've not told people publicly what you sent me on Skype last week.
Why don't you do it?
Right?
Yeah,
that's your business.
Anytime I give you something,
when somebody tells me something like that, when somebody tells me something like that, that lets me know where they are kind of financially.
Go ahead and let people know.
That's why.
You gotta read the Skype message.
So I'm not going to read the Skype message out, man. Like that's
okay. How about I do it? I told Dragnut that I was struggling and that I might have to move soon. I've taken care of that problem since then. So the issue is whether or not I can attain a building, catering, microphones. Like, I can't even believe you would even ask me something like that. I got like 8 of them upstairs. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even the churches, actors that I know of. Some of them whom which I'm related to will have no problem getting wireless mics or getting regular mics so that we can have these debates. I have no problem with that. That's easy.
So how are you going to compensate Matt? How are you actually going to compensate him as far as
how much compensation to be and how soon he needs it? It depends. Because once I pay him, he better show up. You know what I mean? So I have no problem with that.
I'm just like, I'm not saying
I got an entire community behind me on this one. I'll raise that in one day. I'm not worried. I'll probably raise it in 2 hours. I'm not worried about that.
You're crowdfunded. So you're gonna crowdfund Matt's expenses and all the other stuff.
I could do that, or I could just take it out of my own pocket. It depends on how much. If it's like $800, I'll pay that myself. If it's like
it's gonna cost a lot more than that, my man.
It depends. And like I said, me and him going to do some negotiating once he agrees. Everything isn't going to be about what he wants and what he wants and what he wants. There are two people in this, and believe you me, I know a lot more about Matt than just his argument against slavery.
Okay,
Matt claims to care about people. I'm going to challenge him on that topic.
So let me inform you on something. If people want Matt to show up, there's very little negotiating that goes into it. It is.
Wow. Oh, okay.
How it is.
I'll have to like I said, I'm going to talk. Hold on a minute. I'm going to talk to people who's debated him, and I'm going to find out what he's like. I'm going to find out.
Feel free.
Like I said, I'm not getting on my hands and my knees and watching him pull down his pants and me kiss his butt. He claimed he didn't want to debate me because he said I was being disrespectful. We can easily not do it in person, and we can easily do this on YouTube. And I can kill a lot of that noise right away. So again, I would prefer it be in person. The man's never met me in person. You have. That's something that you can get. You got over him. You know what I mean? And I would like to debate him on the topic of slavery, in which all I've been hearing out of this community are excuses.
There are very few people. G-Man, there's very few people in this community that have actually met Matt and actually understand like what he does, because the circuit atheists, Matt Arn, Seth Andrews, they are removed from us. They're not actually a part of this community. So what you're trying to ascertain from people here isn't what Matt actually represents or even anything related to him. Tell you the truth.
Let me see something here.
I hate to break that to you.
No, I understand. My bad. I got to be careful. So my battery. So yeah. So if Matt wants to do it, all I need is that list. That's all I need, and then I'll let him know whether or not it's reasonable or not.
I'll mention this to Matt. Actually, one of my
you told me you were going to text him and tell him that you was doing this.
I already texted him. I don't think he's up right now. So one of my guys here in the chat is a DJ. He says,
"Not out of bed yet."
Huh? It's Matt has weird sleeping hours. So a DJ is $400 to $500 for about 2 to 3 hours. So just to kind of give you an idea.
I'm not worried about a DJ. I got a DJ member. I got DJs in my family. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
and I don't necessarily need a DJ.
Okay, so it's just like I'm not sure how.
It's not. I don't necessarily need a DJ. What makes you think I need a DJ? Why would I need a DJ at a debate?
Somebody who can to do the sound mixing, right? For the microphone.
No. I get that for free. I'm not worried about that. I don't want to pay nobody nothing.
Someone who has the equipment and the know-how.
I will not have to pay a cent for nothing like that. I'm not worried about that.
Rely on Pookie and them to come in and do this.
Who's Pookie?
Pookie and okay, never mind. Family members and friends that you know to come in and help you host this event.
It ain't gonna be family members. It's gonna be a lot of persons with invested interest in this.
People with Christian.
It will be the body of Christ who's been around for 2,000 years, who will gladly gladly either volunteer or there's a lot of the things that you can see. One of the things that I don't think you understand, Drag, maybe Matt might a little bit more than you, is that okay? If you look at a guy like Ken Hovind, a lot of the things that he's doing that on volunteer work. There's a lot of Christians that would be so heavily interested in what's going on that they would fly out there with their own money, attend it, and volunteer in any kind of way in order to make this event happen. We Christians do this all the time. If there was a Christian living near you that was doing an event and they needed some labor out there because they couldn't afford to pay, and it was for the cause of preaching the gospel, and I heard about it and I was able to do it, I'm not asking them to give me nothing. I'm just going to go out there and go do it. That's just how we are.
So this event is going to be reliant upon the goodwill of the Christians that you can.
I'm not saying that. I don't even got a list in my hand yet to say what is going to be relied upon. I want to know what he requires. And why the heck would I need a DJ? I don't know. What I need is a moderator, some working microphones. I need to get a building big enough to fit a couple of thousand people in there.
A couple of thousand?
Yes. I'm not inviting individuals. I'm inviting churches. I'm inviting congregations with 300 and 400 and 500 people in there. I'm not playing around.
Are going to be here. So what about the atheists who
well, the atheists can come out there too, but I'm not playing around. Like I said, when I invite people, I'm inviting entire congregations. I'm planning on doing the same thing with Captain Cesario with the ISUPK. And he knows what my burden and what my numbers are. I'm trying to get for our debate anywhere between 500 and 600 people. he's going to be responsible for anywhere between 30 and 100 people. I know what I'm trying to do. So once I got a time frame and it's reasonable, and I get the list of the things that I need, and it's reasonable, and it's doable, the debate will be on. I'm not inviting my church. I'm gonna invite churches. Again, this is just proof that none of you guys has ever entered a church building and listened to anything that the pastor has ever said in the front. You know, a lot of people in these churches do work for the body of Christ without asking for a cent.
I'm fully aware that you're not the only person who's worked with the church before, but for something like this, because I've noticed that you kind of have a habit of volunteering people and their time and their equipment without contacting them, because you've done that to me actually a few times. And that's why I'm like, if you want to get Matt on board with something like this, it's going to be more than, hey, Christian brothers.
This sounds like excuse mania. I gotta ask Matt Slick that he had to sit through this and listen to all of these excuses. You know, I'm gonna make sure. Don't worry about like people seeing this and whatnot. I'm gonna make sure that the right people see this. And I'm not talking about true empiricism of Veckel. Like, I want people who have debated Matt to see this video and listen to the amount of excuses that's being made.
No, these are not excuses, man. This is the reality of the situation. Like, I guess you just think that when Matt,
like I never did an event before. You crack me up. You're like super new, and you think I've never put together an event before. You're funny. You're funny.
I'm pretty sure you've hosted events at family functions all the time.
Not family functions.
The convention that I went to, right? Because I've actually gone to a convention with Matt and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
These conventions aren't just something that someone whipped together and said, okay, volunteers, we're going to do it for the glory of atheism. Who wants to help me? No, people had to put up money, cold hard cash, and pay people and equipment. And
Logan 16 says Gman is here.
Thing happened. Like,
Logan
it had to
put a super chat here for $5
ahead of time. There are
Logan 16 says Gman is here. Gman here is some money for G Studios. Wait a minute. So these are donations for me?
Are they? Y'all Cash App Gman in the chat if you want people to donate to you. Go for it.
No, they are saying that they're donating this. So
people being facetious.
Whatever. Anyway, so so they're atheists. I don't expect them to give me anything. That's just how you guys are. But anyway, so my thing is that I'm tired of the excuses. I've been listening to this stuff for years. I just want the document. That's all I want. Give me the specifics. Sick of listening to this. Watch how fast I get that building. You watch how fast I secure all of this stuff. All I want is that building. That's it. I'm not the building, the document. That's all I want.
Okay. So I'll next time.
Once he goes public, I'm not taking him serious until I get a public video saying, G-Man, I'm going to send you this, this, and this. If you meet these requirements, I will debate you at such and such and such and such, or whatever. Okay.
Okay. I will. So
we're about within reason.
We're about at the hour mark
with my subscribers. Okay.
Well, G-Man, we're about at the hour mark. Do you want me to open this up for other people? Because I think there are people.
My battery's almost dead. This thing's gonna conk out any second.
Okay, so you want to just hang out until your battery dies? Because I think there are people who have questions for you.
No, you can invite your people in here. I'm actually gonna leave in a minute, but I just wanted to come on here because me and you again was talking about this on Skype.
Yeah,
I know you met Matt, and you have a certain amount of respect for Matt. That's understandable, and I get it because if it was on the other side, I would have the same attitude. But where me and you become different is that I don't like the excuses. I don't respect any Christian on YouTube. Like if you was challenging Veckel, I disagree with you on what Trump said, and Veckel kept giving you excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse, and why he wouldn't debate you on the topic. Me and Veckel wouldn't be talking for a while because I would lose a lot of respect for him. So if I just scared of drag.
So if I said at the university that I'm up at right now, if I got together and hosted an event and paid for Veckel to fly down, paid for his hotel, and have a live debate, he would have to in order to take me on that.
Yes. And if you did it, I think he would be there a couple of days early. He would be there.
I don't agree with that at all.
I'll tell you what, go ahead and do it. Challenge him. Challenge him while I'm in the room with him. Let him say no while I'm in the room with him. You have been watching me long enough to know what's going to happen when that happens. Nah.
I'm gonna just disagree with you on that. Just
Okay, I tell you what, then challenge him.
Okay. I'll
we are salivating at the idea of debating certain people face to face, getting away from this computer nonsense.
Okay, I agree with you. I think that's true. I think that's absolutely true. But I'm not sure if Veckel is jumping for joy to come debate me face to face.
On what topic?
I disagree with.
On what topic?
We could talk about evolution. We could talk about morality.
He don't know nothing about evolution. That's a person he can talk to you, but he don't know nothing about it.
Okay. Okay. So we can nix evolution, I guess. But I don't see him jumping for joy to come debate with me.
What about the Trump impeachment? This is
about what?
Well, I don't know who would actually spend money for something like this. But do you agree with the Trump impeachment? Because I don't think he does.
The Trump impeachment? I have mixed feelings about that. So as far as, because I think it is fairly partisan, but his position of supporting Trump and saying that, well, Trump's not racist and stuff like that, he knows that I've disagreed, and I've actually provided evidence that Trump is indeed.
Would you be willing to debate him on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, that could be arranged, you know.
Okay, fine. If he wants to debate me on that, and because he knows exactly where I'm going to go, right?
Okay. Where do you want to debate him?
Sure. It depends when he actually has time.
He's going to be in my room. You can ask him yourself because he's going to be on my YouTube channel he's going to be in there in about an hour and a half. He's going to be in there.
Okay, so
ask him yourself if you want in the live chat if you want. He'll answer you.
Yeah, well, he knows what my position is. Like, so it's if I'm around for that, I may pop in. So we'll see. We'll see.
But again, if you do talk to Matt, tell Matt I'm willing to meet certain conditions, but it's got to be within reason because my name ain't Donald Trump, and I'm not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know what I mean? I'm not those kind of people. However, if he has something within reason where I can meet him and he has a reasonable rate or whatever, and it could be in Texas or somewhere in between because he's got to take into consideration that I got to travel too. You know what I mean? Because it ain't just about his comfort. You know what I mean? If he can do this within reason, I'm there.
I mean, he's traveled to England just last week.
I'm there.
I'm just saying, man, he's traveled to England for some of these.
Isn't the atheist experience in Houston or something like that?
Austin,
Texas. Okay, I'll debate him in Austin. Let's give in for both of us. I'll go to Austin, and then we can find some type of suite for him to stay in. Matter of fact, if he lives there, he can
stay in his house in Austin.
We can do it in Austin. He can stay at his house. We can get we can get a church out there, and we can debate out there. I have no issue with that. But Matt's going to lose, and he's going to lose bad if he debates me. I'm not even going to like sugarcoat it. I'm going to destroy him if I debate him on this topic. It's not even listening to me, Drag. Even you're going to be disappointed. He's going to be one of the videos. Hey guys, we got to talk about this debate between Drag and Gman. Oh my God, I can't believe I got to say this. Gman actually was right. Matt Dillahunty really doesn't. And Matt, this ain't nothing personal or nothing like that, but and that's what you guys are going to be doing. I'm just telling you.
Pride cometh before the fall.
What happened?
Pride cometh before the fall.
You're right about that, but you ain't gonna find a lot of Christians that believe that man's gonna destroy me. That's for sure. Not gonna happen. Now, if he does beat me, I'll get on my YouTube channel and go, sorry for embarrassing all of you guys. I'm sorry. Because that's never gonna happen. Because that will never happen with me on YouTube. Anyway, I gotta go. Battery's on 15%. So I gotta get out of here. All right.
All right. Bye, Gman. Thanks for coming in.
All right. Well.
Why is he obsessed with trying to debate him in person, though? That part I didn't quite catch.
I said this at the very beginning. Gman inexplicably messaged me right after I was done with my show. So no, he feels that that Matt's been averse to this topic ever since their exchange. So I don't know, man. He has a stick up his ass about it. I mean, it's always been there, but for some reason it's been irritating him lately.
No, I mean, it's fine if he wants to debate him, period. I mean, I think he's been wanting to debate fucking everybody that he can get his hands on, right? I'm saying, but why is he wanting to like rent out an event like house to do it? Like, what's the point of him coming to Texas for that?
Well, I don't think that he knows that well, just to be fair, I don't think a lot of people actually know how these events happen, like the Dinesh D'Souza event and Free Flow and all the other kind of stuff. Matt doesn't set up any of that at all. Other people set it up and then they contact Matt. That's how it happens. So people who have their shit together and who really want this to happen go through all the steps they have to take, and they solidify everything and say, all you got to do is show up. Here's your compensation. Here's your plane ticket. Here are the dates. Boom, Matt's there. You know, should he agree to whatever's going on, right? But that's honestly how it works. But it's just it comes across as G-Man's just going to fly by the seam of his pants and then rely on volunteer work to try and, you know, cobble something together that's supposed to benefit Matt somehow. And I'm like, I'm not, well, supposing that Matt agrees, you know, to something like that, it doesn't sound like he has a solid plan. But according to G-Man, he needs a list of demands and whatever.
Sorry,
to make it happen. So a part of me is just curious to see how he would go about, like, just the mental process, and then him physically trying to go out and get all these people together from Pookie and them to try and get this shit together. Like, that's fascinating to me.
Like, he would have so much better of a time if he were to maybe like contact Matt Dillahunty on his Twitch. I'm going to post it in a live chat for folks. If you want to follow Matt Dillahunty on Twitch, there you go. Follow Matt Dillahunty on Twitch, guys.
Probably the best place to get in contact with Matt on a near daily basis, because I'm on there talking to him. I mean, I got his fucking phone, but I could probably tell he's asleep right now. But like hitting him up on Twitch is the best way to get in contact with him.
Oh yeah, he reads the chat, he interacts. Any question basically while he's playing games, he answers right away. So it's really cool if you guys wanted to have a more like intimate setting, I guess, with Matt and ask him some questions about, you know, his positions or whatever. It would actually be easier for G-Man to contact him through Twitch and just set up a debate online. Why do you have to go through the effort of like arranging, you know, reserving a house for that or something? He's acting like he's going to go to Matt Dillahunty's house and just fucking live debate him right there in the middle of his living room or something.
Because he's that stupid.
Well, I was gonna ask him, but I didn't want him to get triggered for me being in the room, so I was gonna wait for him to chill a little bit, but he left.
Oh, wait, how did this even happen? I wasn't. Did he contact you during your last stream, Drag? I didn't see the end of it.
So here we go. So at the ass end of like me ending my stream, I get this Skype message from him saying, "Hey, you know, I'm checking out your AXP, your AXP, you know, thing. You seem a little kind of uncomfortable, but you know, you seem like you were okay, and like just kind of, you know, well, okay, cool. You know, it wasn't anything that I was surprised about, because he and I do tend to have casual conversation, even though he claims I'm this fucking malicious fucker, but." Then, like, the second series of comments is like, I want to debate Matt Dillahunty. And I'm like, huh? It took me by surprise. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And then he just calls me. I'm like, all right, you know, let's just go live. We'll talk about it. And so Sam RN, finals went pretty good. I got a C in cell physiology and C plus and biochemistry too. And I got an A in biochemistry research, B in history, and B in art history. So yeah, I did all right. But yeah, it's just, yeah, there's no stream left. This is all StreamYards, folks. So if you're wondering about stuff popping up, I don't have it set up to work with StreamYards at all. So yeah. But what's going on, Sokka? Or excuse me, Vodka account?
Yeah, maybe it should have been Bonk account. I don't know.
God damn it.
Oh man.
Anyway, so that was something.
That was interesting.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just for the live chat. Matt Dillahunty on stream is a lot of fun. He's hilarious. He's playing some auto chess game for a little while now, and then Ori and the Blind Forest. He gets pissed off very quickly, and it's hilarious to watch. But He does respond very quickly. So shut up, tatted fucking asshole.
I'm thinking about signing up for auto chess and then just making a crazy fucking name, and then just go in there and just fucking. I'm thinking about doing that just to troll the fuck out of him.
Red, what the fuck did you just do?
Oh, that's mean.
I have many screenshots of his face, so I think I have a problem.
Yeah, we're probably I don't know what you mean.
I even have one of you drag, but only one. He had like that mustache.
Oh yeah, my little Hitler stash.
Yeah.
Would it trigger him if I offered my channel for you guys to debate on? Because you guys debated on there before about the evolution shit. So
it's not neutral.
It's
Oh
not.
god, that's a terrible picture of me.
Yes.
Oh god, your mustache was so bad. Oh, I wanted to shave it off.
That's
Kind of look like my dad.
Cargo shirts and Velcro wallet gang. Hell yeah, Velcro is where it's at, dude. Want to make sure your change don't slip out your wallet? You get a Velcro wallet, buddy. Let's go with the chain on it and everything.
Yeah, I guess he thinks that I can just like it. He strongly indicated that I could like coerce Matt into like doing this debate, and I'm like, man, look, that's not how that works. That's not how that. I'm not sure because that me and Matt did talk about. Like we actually did speak about that, and there's no actual benefit for Matt to do it. Like I don't know how else to say it. There's what does Matt actually get out of it?
Everything, apparently.
It's just I don't get it.
He gets to beat the great G-Man, which is an achievement.
Just the silence be forever. Like, come on now. Like you are not some goddamn supervillain. Just stop it.
No, he's the superhero. That's the thing. In this story, he's the hero.
If Matt even bothers to text you back at a reasonable time and not like 1 o'clock in the morning or some ungodly hour, you should probably tell him like G-Man is trying to arrange an in-person formal debate. What the fuck?
I shot him. I did shoot him a text and let him know, and I'll probably talk to him later.
He's not gonna. He's gonna believe that it happened, but he's not actually gonna believe it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm just give him a timestamp or something, or somebody else will give me a timestamp, and I'll give it to Matt because this, like, he's not gonna sit here and watch all this at all.
That picture of fucking Ronnie.
We should hype this up by having it online and then debate about whose channel is it going to be on. Because I honestly want to see him freak out a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what he thinks is supposed to happen.
You just show up to somebody's, event space and you just have a debate. Okay? God, why are you making this so complicated?
I guess it's like the climax of Rise of Skywalker, if you've seen it. Matt Dillahunty is Emperor Palpatine, and G-Man is Rey. So,
don't talk to me about that movie. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
The movie was okay. The shit that happened at the end pissed me off. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was laughing my butt off.
God damn it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna end this, and we'll chat in Discord.
All right, let me spam Dillahunty's Twitch. Follow Dillahunty on Twitch.
I might be
links.
I don't see it. There we go. Yep, put mine up there too. Because I'll be probably streaming the Old Republic just on Twitch.
So Drag is a degenerate and likes to simulcast on Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
I'm going to turn it off YouTube, so I'll just have it on Twitch.
You sure about that? You're done with your
there's not really a lot of people who watch on YouTube, and it's more appropriate for Twitch.
All right, that's Drag's Twitch bullshit right there. Okay, is that enough links for everybody? Is it spammed? Are you annoyed?
Not enough.
Okay, here, since Robot said it's not enough, there you go.
It's never enough. The war never ends.
What the fuck?
These trolls.
I'm not a troll. I'm more of a connoisseur.
Oh god, end the hangout already. Fuck.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. And some of you who are donating to Trigger G-Man, you are terrible people. All of you. Terrible.
Dragon Lord.